I'm Jeremy Gray with you again today for Inside IU Volleyball with Jade Dunbar. And Coach, before we talk about the team, you got some media stars on your team. Jade Henderson, she's a blogger. She's got a new one coming out this week.
Yeah, we talked about, as everybody knows, Mary did a great job with the blogs last, 3 years, 4 years, maybe she did it her freshman year. And so we talked about who's going to take over. It's such a big job, you know, Mary did such a good job. And so we were going to do tryouts. Well, there were no tryouts because everybody said Jade is going to do it, you know, and I think they named it just Jade. But, you know, I've talked about Jade in the past. I just think she's such a unique kid with such a great personality. And I think, you know, doing these type of things, I think is a good experience for her, but also just really good for people to get a chance to know her a little bit better and know the team a little bit better. So I think it'll be a lot of fun.
We've talked a little bit off camera about Whitney Granado and how she's really emerged as a leader, plays that vital position of setter. Talk about how she has emerged as a leader and has become very vocal in practice.
Well, I just think for us to be successful next year, with any team to be successful, you need some leadership. And when you go into the spring season, I mean, this is what it's all about, this development, not just of technique and of, you know, getting better in the weight room and conditioning and those type of things, but you're trying to develop a new team and new team chemistry. And I think she saw there was a void. And I think other people have stepped up too in their own ways and filled roles, but I think she saw a big void and said, what do I need to do to fill this? And she didn't wait around, and she made a list of things she wanted to accomplish, and then she, you know, and I kind of compare her a little bit, the very little I know him, but Jordy Hulls. I think she has a similar personality where she's not a screamer type person and, you know, just this over the top. I mean, if you meet Whitney, I think you look at her and say, wow, she's just a sweet kid and everything. And she has transformed into a person that every team needs right now. And I think Jordy did that too. And it's about accountability. I think first and foremost, she holds herself accountable. She does everything that she can in practice, and on top of that does the extra outside of the gym, which has earned great respect, I think, from her teammates. And when somebody emerges into that leadership role, what I love about it is she is probably one of the most respected kids in our program. So when she yells at someone or gets on someone, they listen because they respect her and they see that she's doing above and beyond everything that's being asked of her. And so I think she's really the perfect person that's made that decision. But I think they have to make that decision. You know, you can't force somebody into that. And I think that's what I've learned so much about leadership is you push somebody into that, and a lot of times they back off or it affects their play. And you know, they have to want to influence other people. And I think that she's to that point where she realizes, you know, her career is starting to wind down like all juniors going to be seniors do. And I think that she realizes that she can do something about it to make the team better.
One of the great things here at Indiana not only is the weight room, but the strength and conditioning staff. I can't believe I forgot to mention him in the first one that we did last week. Chris Virtue. Yeah. He's new to the program. He's a guy who has got a track record of success, really knows what he's doing, and he loves the sports that he oversees. Yeah. He's in the front row of the softball games. He helps out with men's basketball, and he's traveling on the road, paying his own way to go there and watch him. He's a guy who really gets invested in the teams.
I can't say enough. You know, we had a switch with our strength coach, and we were so lucky to have Josh for all the years I've been here, and he got a great opportunity for his family, that his wife could stay home a little bit, and so he moved out to Kansas to work with their football team. And Chris was the first one come to me, and he said, I would be offended if you let anyone else work with your team. And to me, that, you know, okay. You know, I want somebody that's invested, just like you're talking about. And he's over in practice watching. He's very intense. He has a great respect from the team. He's worked with our team, with Josh, for the last 4 years. So he knows our players. He knows their strengths, their weaknesses, their personalities. And so I have seen, I'll tell you, I've been so impressed with him, how he has related so many things from the gym, back to the weight room, back to the gym. And he's trying to learn the game and understand, you know, what are the most important things that we need to accomplish. And it's not just, okay, let's run and get in shape. No, the thing we're really trying to accomplish, and you and I have talked about so much, is not what we're doing, how we're doing it. The mentality that we take into everything. We'll worry about what we're doing. You know, we'll put in a great lineup, and we're going to put in offense and defense, but it doesn't matter until they take ownership of how they do things. So what we've been doing in conditioning is all competitive. Everything is a competition. So you have to get 15 wins to get out today. I don't care how you do it, you got to find 15 wins. So then it takes out that I'm just running, I'm just kind of going through the motions, I'm getting, stronger, I'm getting faster, but you're not winning. And we have to teach them again how to win. And everything they do has to be a competition. So I just like how he's going after things and attacking things. And he's saying the same language I have, which is, with a support staff, I think that's just as important to make sure that everybody's on the same page, everybody's doing the same things, everybody understands what the ultimate goal is. I mean, besides winning, but what are we trying to accomplish this spring? So let's make sure we're doing that in every area that we're in and not just in the gym with volleyball.
You mentioned yesterday, I was talking to you about practice, you were not thrilled, but the team responded today.
Yeah.
And that seems to be the character of this team. They don't have 2 bad days in a row.
Yeah,
they bounce back and they take ownership of the situation.
We had a show last night, which was awesome, and Whitney Granado was on the show and did a really good job. I was really proud of her. And we're driving back, and I said, I was really disappointed in practice today, and I said, whose fault is that? And she said, mine. And I said, yeah. I said, if you want to be the leader of the team, it's your job to make sure that practices go well. And so that's your fault that we didn't have a good practice. So your job is to make sure that we have a good practice tomorrow. And then I'll pat you on the back, but I think she wants that role. And I think she even talked about that a little bit on the show last night. She wouldn't want it any other way right now because she feels like she can make a difference. So when things are going good, great. I'm going to give her all the credit. Things are going bad, she's got to take that on her shoulders too. And so I saw them, and I don't know who brought them together, but before practice this morning, they had a little huddle and talked about it, and we had a great practice. And, it's frustrating as a coach because you can only do so much. And at some point, they're going to have a great practice because they come in with that mentality to have a great practice and attack it. And if they don't, it really is a waste of time. And we have very limited time in the spring, and we don't have time to waste, And so seeing them come back in today with a lot of energy right from stretching and see some of the things we accomplished, you keep hoping that it makes them say, we're going to do it again tomorrow, we're going to do it again tomorrow. Because the more consistent you can string those, the more consistent you're going to be in the fall with matches, and not one good match, one bad match, one good set, one bad set. So really just trying to get them to find that consistency with their mentality. Not so much with their technique. They're going to have bad days, they're not going to pass great, but if they attack it, when we can fix some of the other things.
Coming up this weekend, you got some good competition on the road, taking on Louisville, and then back at home against Indiana State and Illinois State on the 21st. Got to be good to kind of get after it against other teams.
Just playing. Right now, I've told them this, and maybe I shouldn't be saying this, but I don't care if we win or lose. I care about if we're getting better and we're transferring information from practice and we're really going out and competing. And I felt like this past tournament we went to, we did that. And especially at the end of the day when we played Western Kentucky, I thought it was a great match. It was 39-37 in the first game, 25-23, whatever it was. So very, very competitive. This weekend I won't be there because I'll be out recruiting, but they'll be down in Louisville and they'll see a lot of different teams again. And I think that's very good for us to keep getting, especially the young players, and the Jordan, who was out all season, who had one of her best practices this morning. So, Shantae and Jen and Jordan, getting lots of reps out there, and we've been working on a lot of things with Sammy and with Witt. So just to be able to see them start to make some of that progress that we've been doing, I think will be fun. Gives them something to look forward to. Obviously when you train every day, it's okay, this is the fun part now. Let me see what I can do from practice into this, because you're limited with numbers. We're using some practice players, we're using some assistant coaches to make things competitive in practice, but you're still lacking the numbers to be able to have a 6-on-6 situation.
You got those fun Fridays. They've done a lot of fun stuff. They've knocked around some golf balls, jumped off the high dive, played a little volleyball. Green Berets, right, last week?
Yeah.
How did that go?
Well, I am so impressed, and I think you know a little bit about the ROTC here, which is one of the best in the country. And their partnership with athletics has been really, really great. I mean, they are above and beyond whatever we want them to do, and they come and support us at matches, and they're just fantastic. And to see the kind of sacrifice they do, the kind of hard work they do, and how envious they are of what we are able to do, playing in the Big Ten level and all those type of things, I just think it's a great partnership. So, we used them last year and had some fun, and this year they set up an obstacle course out on the cross country, which is beautiful. Behind University Gym where we play, and we did the push-ups instead, all the kind of things there, and the running the cross-country course, and they also had to they had paintball guns and were shooting the cadets and things. So, we mixed some fun. Now, I did hear from some of the girls, Coach Dunbar needs to look up the word fun.
I was about to say,
yeah.
volleyball,
like,
fun, jumping off the high dive, fun.
Yeah.
Green Beret training.
Fun. When they showed up and we said, wear sweats, wear your jackets, it's cold out, it's early in the morning, and as soon as they saw what we were doing, I think the fun kind of was like, what? It's not exactly what we were thinking, but I like the challenge part of it. Everything we do is a competition, just like we're talking about, so it can be fun to be a competition, and that was about time. How fast can you finish the course, and shoot the guns and do everything you had to do, and Whitney Granado won, which I thought was great, for her and so competitive. But, everything we do is like that right now. So I think we can mix it up and do different things.
All right. That wraps up this week's show. We'll talk to you again next week, catching everybody up on IU Volleyball on Inside IU Volleyball with Coach Dunbar.